Dear student, welcome again to the part 4, that is planning and decision making. We were discussing in the last module regarding the barrier to this decision making, the concept of the MIS, individual and the group decision making. In this particular module, that is module 20, we will be getting an idea about what are the different techniques for the decision making. So you can see in this page, the two techniques are there. One is the quantitative techniques and another is the qualitative techniques that we'll be discussing. Now, very first thing is the managers are hired for the purpose of getting the work done through others, that we have defined the terms management or the role of the manager. Now, the very crucial element that the manager has to take are the different decisions. Alright, so decisions are something which should be very appropriate decisions should be taken by the manager, and if the decisions are not taken appropriately, the manager or the company will not be growth of the company will be restrained. Suppose the in the last session we have taken one of the example is with respect to the commitment of the employee. Okay, one of the barriers of the decision making. Within that, we have explained that the manager has taken the wrong decision to purchase a software. Now the manager is in the dilemma whether to purchase again a new software or continue with the existing software. Now, continuing with the existing software will ultimately reduces the efficiency of your staffs, and if you are purchasing the new software, that will be increase the efficiency of your employee, but at the same time it will cost you more. Alright, so appropriate decision making or decision making based on certain rationality or evaluation of all your alternatives properly is very important while you are taking any key decisions. Okay, so suppose a manager need to take the decisions. All right, now the manager has to decide what are the different ways through which the manager can take the decision. So one is your quantitative way and another is your qualitative way. So quantitative way will, or the quantitative method or the techniques will give you in about the questions related to how much, how many, all right, or how often. So these are some of the output of your quantitative techniques, and the qualitative technique will give you an idea about the motivation, needs, wants, or the behavioral aspects. Okay, so quantitative technique is more of the technical decisions being taken by the managers. Okay, and qualitative techniques is with respect to the behavior or the behavioral aspects will be covered under the technical or your qualitative way. Now there are different methods which has been derived under the quantitative technique for the decision making. As you can see in this slide, the very first one is your marginal method. Second is your cost effectiveness. Third one is your risk analysis. Fourth one is your linear programming. So these are some of the methods. Again, in the quantitative method, your next method should be your operation research, decision tree, your network analysis. As well as in the qualitative methods, we will be discussing about the brainstorming session, Delphi method, your nominal group techniques. Okay, and last one is the simulation. So these are some of the ways or methods we'll be discussing. The very first one is your marginal analysis. Now marginal analysis talks about the revenue and the cost which are incurred for the any activity. And marginal analysis or the marginal cost is the cost of producing one additional unit of the product. Okay, so marginal analysis is how you are producing one additional unit, and based on that your marginal cost and marginal revenue. Now the management has to take the decision. Suppose any new unit you are manufacturing, suppose the company has manufactured 5,000 units, all right, and the overall revenue that is generated is 2 lakhs, all right. So the manager, if suppose they are manufacturing 5,001 unit and the additional revenue is suppose 1,99,257. Okay. Now what we have seen with this example, by adding one more unit of the product, the overall revenue or the sales part is declining. So manager has to take the decision that they should not continue with the additional unit of the product. Whereas if the sales is increasing, suppose 2 lakh 500, okay, then the manager has to take the decision regarding, like, since the sales are increasing, the profit are increasing, they can continue with the decision of increasing the unit of the product. Okay, so it can be done through the break-even analysis. Okay, let me guide you in a brief manner what is break-even analysis. Break-even analysis give you the relationship of the cost and the revenue. Okay, so one cost will be your total fixed cost, all right. This will be your total revenue. Okay, this will be your total variable cost, and this is your total cost. So total cost is a summation of your variable cost as well as your total fixed cost. So the moment the company is getting the break-even point, okay, so the break-even point will be where the profit, your total cost and total revenue are at this point, matching together. So this is your break-even point. So when the company is getting the break-even point, then the company will be taking the decision to continue with the operation. Okay, so this is the marginal analysis. Second is your cost effectiveness. Cost effectiveness, it means how you are able to manage the cost of the total one unit of the product or the total unit of the product that you are manufacturing. Okay, suppose the company is calculated, or they have observed that more and more unit you are manufacturing, ultimately the overall cost is declining. Okay, it means the company is getting the benefit of economies of scale. The economies of scales means the more and more unit you will be producing, the cost of the raw material will be lowered down, or the total cost will be lowered down. Okay, so this will be a very advantageous position for the company. Okay, so manager will be taking the decision based on the cost effectiveness, how their overall cost is reduced or whether the cost is increased in the long term. Third one is the risk analysis. Risk analysis is with respect to the comparison of the different projects. Suppose a company, like you can take the example of Uber. All right. Now Uber company, suppose, is taking a new project or entering into the new market, and two routes are there. One is A and one is B. Since the company cannot go for both the routes or both the market, the company will be deciding which market is better. So the company can be using the risk analysis, and based on the risk analysis, they can get the percentage of the return. Suppose the rate of return is 30% in the route A and 28% in the route B. Okay, because of the risk factor. Okay, in the route B, the risk is high because the roads or the infrastructure are not so developed, and because of which overall your return is reducing. Okay, so risk analysis is something quantitatively done at the manager levels, and they sometimes they proportionately get an idea that this particular project will be of higher risk. All right. Next one is the linear programming method. It determines the optimum combination of limited resources to minimize cost or to maximize profit. Okay, so linear programming is a very important techniques, one of the important techniques in key decision making, and this technique will give you the optimum combination, like what kind of different kind of raw material you will be using together, different kind of resources you will be using together in the combination process, so that your overall cost or profit will be increasing. Okay, so which mixture is more beneficial for the company? The linear programming method will give you an idea about it. Operation research, it facilitates decision making by supplying quantitative information to the decision maker. Okay, so operation research, your linear programming, your network analysis, these are some of the not recent development, but we can call it, it has emerged over a period of time, and these gives a deeper insight about the understanding of the different alternatives available and how those alternatives can be effectively used by the manager. So it provides a scientific and objective basis to reduce intuition. Okay, different methods are there, like probability, game theory, network analysis, your queuing theory. So these are some of the methods of the operation research. Like when you will be taking one of the technique, like the probability theorem or the probability method, like what is the probability that this particular project will be getting more return in the future. Okay, so you can take some intuition decision, or decisions can be like backed by some kind of data. Okay, so it will be helpful for the manager. Next is the decision tree. Now decision tree used for identification the available alternative and the risk and the outcome associated with each alternative. So let's try to understand the decision tree with this slide. Now within the decision tree, few symbols are there which are very much important. Very first one is the decision point, which will be reflected through your square box. Chance of event is reflected through your circle or the oval, and possible outcome, it will be reflected through your bracket, for example. Now one situation, assume one situation, the company is facing, the problem is sales decline. Sales decline is one of the problem the company is facing. All right, now two situation, so this will be your decision point. Okay, now you have taken two decisions. One decision is with respect to improvement of your existing product, all right, or addition of new product in the market. So these are the two decisions that you will be taking, and this is the chance of event. Chance of event is like it could lead to the increase in the sales, that is this part, and it could lead to towards the decrease of the sales, this part. Okay, now based on the calculation or the possible outcome, that is the possible outcome could be that sales high will be 2,25,000 if you are improving your existing product. Okay, and at the same time sales low will be 1,75,000. These are based on certain calculation or based on certain assumptions. Okay, again, when you are adding a new product in the market, you are taking the decision of adding new product, so chance of event could be high sales and the low sales. Okay, and based on the calculation part, you have observed the high sales could be 2,50,000 and second will be the lower is 1,80,000. So what is the optimum decision that manager will be taking here? It can be seen that when you are improving the product, the higher sales you can achieve is 2,25,000 and the lower is 1,75,000. Whereas when you are adding or introducing new product instead, the higher sales is 2,50,000 and lower is 1,80,000. So any day the manager will be taking the decision of introducing or adding a new product in the market, because the maximum sales is higher than the improvement of the product, and the lower sales is also higher than the improvement of the product. So this is the decision tree. Next is the network analysis. Network analysis is a path you will be designing, that how the different interconnected parts are there, and those interconnected parts will give you an idea about the total cost of the operation. Okay, so program evaluation and review technique, that is popularly known as the PERT. Okay, and next is the CPM, critical path method. These two techniques are the most popular in the network technique that are used for planning and controlling the large project. Okay, so it totally depend upon the budget part of the company, that how much budget you have, and based on that you will be using the quantitative techniques. If the budget or the complexity of operation is too high, too much of activities are involved within the company or the operation part, you can use the network analysis part. Okay, and the decision are like it is not certain about, you are not certain about the objective, then you can use the decision tree. So it totally depends upon the types of the decision that you are, or types of the operation, or types of the complexity, types of the budgets the company is having. So the second element talks about the qualitative techniques of the decision making. As we know, the qualitative techniques is dealing with the behavioral aspect for decisions. Okay, now very first one is the brainstorming method. Now in the brainstorming method, you call the different experts, different people from the media, from the like any kind of industry expert, some kind of internal employee, and you form the group of like 10 to 15 people will be there. Okay, and this will give you totally development of the new concept. Suppose the company is facing a severe problem of decline in the overall performance of the product. The company or the manager needs to take a concrete decision on how the new product can be used or new product can be launched. Now you will be calling up the different experts, all right, and you will be giving them the opportunity to provide more and more valuable insights, or their opinion will not be restricted. There will be no cross questioning there, and they will be just like providing their opinions regarding what the new product can be launched so that your problem can be solved. Okay, so this is something open ended. Okay, and no filter is set regarding the question. So this particular give you the idea about the new product. Okay, so this is the very first one, is the brainstorming. Delphi method, it's somehow we like put a problem, okay, or put a situation to the group members. Again, the group member will be there. Okay, like 10 to 15 group members are there, and to whom you are discussing the specific problem. Okay, like you have now set the criteria or the filter that the IT product or some kind of like technological product, technological software, for example. Okay, now the company is very specific that they will be they are going to launch a software which could help in the development of the MIS. In the last session we have discussed the MIS, how the company will be like managing their information system for the purpose of decision making. Now the company is launching a new software of the MIS. Now the situation has changed as compared to the brainstorming method. Now the filter or the criteria has been put forward where the company is restricted towards a particular service or the product. Now in this method, questions will be asked. Okay, questions will be asked, and individual activity or the individual observation will be recorded. At the end, all the experts' opinion will be like discussed with the group members. Suppose 15 members were there and 15 ideas of how to improve the software, the company has like gathered all the data. Now all the 15 viewpoint will be discussed with all the 15 members, and cross questions will be asked so that there will be efficiency in the decision making. So what is the difference between your brainstorming or the Delphi method. Delphi method is something very much specific with respect to a particular situation. Questions, cross questioning will be there. Okay, and all the members will be discussing towards a specific topic. So this is the difference. The third one is the nominal group technique. So in the nominal group technique, a problem will be shown towards the different group members. Again, the group members will be there from the different varied industry, from the different media houses. They could be politicians as well. Okay, internal employees as well. So they will be given a specific problem. Now the specific problem could be internal factor as well as external factor. Suppose the specific problem is with respect to the skills of the employee within the organization, like how the skills of the employee can be improved. Okay, so this is the problem of the employee, like because of the rapid transformation in the IT industry, use of the like digital software, artificial intelligence. So the older employee are not so used to the new software. Okay, so this will be the problem the company, this is the problem that the company is facing. Now each and every group members will be providing the ways to implement the training and development program, so that the old employee or the employees who are not so tech savvy, they will be using the workshop or the seminar, and they can enhance their performance or their skill set. Okay, so in the group technique or the nominal group technique, the point is the problem that the company is facing. Next is a simulation technique. Simulation technique is something very much a real life situation is being planned in an experimental way. Okay, suppose within the company, because the company is facing the problem that the customers are somehow dissatisfied because of the staff behavior. Okay, or because of the poor performance of the service delivery. All right, so this is the problem. So what the company will be doing, problem is customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is low. Now customer satisfaction is low because of one of the factor, that the employees are not behaving properly with the customers. Now the company is planning a simulation technique. It means within the organization, they will be giving the opportunity to the internal employee or some real life customers as well. They will be called up, or a particular specific environment will be created, and the company will be observing how the employees within the organization are behaving with the different control groups or the different element of the experiment. That is, some of the customers from the outside, some of the employees who are playing the role of the customers. Okay, so this will be recorded, and it will be observed that how the with employees of the service department, that they are treating with their different element of the experiment. And based on the observation, any kind of element which can be improved, it will be implemented, and through this the customer satisfaction problem will be trying to resolve. Okay, so these are some of the techniques, and that's it for the part 4, and we'll be reviewing about the things we have studied so far in the part 4. In the part 4, starting with the module 16, we have tried to explain the nature and concept about the planning. In the module 17, we got to an idea about the decision making and its process. Module 18 talks about the rationality and the bounded rationality of the decision makers. 19, we discussed thoroughly about the barriers of the decision making. And in the last part, that is the module 20, we have understand about the different techniques of the decision making. Okay, so that's all for the part 4, and these are some of the suggested book. You can go through it and try to get insightful knowledge about, or the fundamental knowledge about the overall intricacies of the decision making. Okay, that's all for this session, and in the part 5 we'll be discussing about the organizing as a whole. That's all. Thank you.